Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Skip Happens. My name is Skip Clark. Of course, I'm your host for Skip Happens, and tonight I have the incredibly talented music artist. You're going to love her. You're going to love her. I love her already. Andrea Vasquez. Is that right?
Andrea, yes.
Yes. All right. All right. Known for her unique sound and powerful storytelling, I'm told. And Andrea's music blends, like the Latino and with today's country, that little mix. And it's so cool in a way that captivates and resonates. All right, tune in. We're going to explore her journey. She'll explain it to us. We'll talk about her creative process when it comes to writing and performing and all the good stuff and what's next in her musical evolution. I say the musical evolution. Let's dive right in. Andrea, it's good to meet you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome into my world. It's cold and snowy here in the Northeast.
Yeah, I think we're about to get your weather over here too.
Well, maybe just a little bit. I
Just a
know,
little.
because we're in upstate New York and we get what they call the lake effect. And the temperature's about 20 right now. It's supposed to get really cold tonight. But when the winds blow across the lake, we'll get a foot of snow easily. And we already
Wow.
got a foot of snow last night on top of the 3 feet we got a few days ago. So it's a little bit crazy, but
Yeah,
nothing like
just a
you.
bit.
So let's talk about you a little bit. How long you been in Nashville?
I've been in Nashville going on 8 years.
Very cool. And you're
Mhm.
from California?
California. Hmm.
Whereabouts in Cali?
SoCal girl. So my parents live in San Diego.
Okay.
We're originally from Los Angeles, so all over. So I don't do the cold.
But you've got the Mexican roots, the Latino roots,
Hmm.
right? And where does that come from?
Both parents. So my
Yeah.
parents came from Mexico and they were in their early teens, and our family, my sister, my brothers and I are first generation Mexican American. Same with
Oh,
most of my cousins.
oh my God, I love it. I love it. Let's talk about your music though. How long have you been like playing music? When did you
It's
get into
very
it?
it's very cliche to say, oh my gosh, since always, but
Mhm.
I would say professionally since I was 17 years old.
Oh wow.
From going to auditions and meetings like that with my parents, and then really heavy pursuing in college. I'm not going to give out my age, but it's been a while.
I totally get that. I totally get that. When you say auditioning, any of the major TV shows, have you had a chance to get involved with those? Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, actually, it's just so crazy. I will keep it as mysterious as I possibly can.
I don't
But
blame you.
yeah, those processes aren't always exactly what they seem to be on TV to anybody
Right.
watching. I always feel like it's funny when I tell people about it because it's almost like you're telling them that Santa's not real. They're like, "What? What do
Right.
you mean it's not like that?" But no, I'm kidding. It's all good. But I did America's Got Talent.
Mhm.
Man, that was probably like 2015, 10 years ago,
Oh,
probably.
wow. Okay.
But we didn't make it on air. Totally fine. Probably great that you didn't see like 20-year-old me doing something wild. So probably for
Okay.
the best. And yeah, so I went to a contemporary music college in Hollywood, which is the most insane. People talk about their college experience, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I lived being 21 in Hollywood. So it was pretty wild. But yeah, so we did a lot with all the different studios. They used to come and kind of talent scout us in a way.
Sure.
But yeah, so did all of that back
I
then.
mean, so you've got the background, you've got the knowledge, you've been there, so to speak. You've
Hmm.
been in places others have not. Uh, being in LA, being in Cali, doing your thing there, and being able to audition, I can only imagine that's really helped you to get where you are today with the confidence building and all that.
Definitely. And I think that that is something that, I look back and I'm very thankful for. I used to say this when I was just so much because I moved to Nashville when I was in my early 20s. And
Mhm, mhm.
I'm kind of glad that it all works out the way it's supposed to. But I was just very thankful for my time and being like a young kid in Hollywood pursuing things, 'cause I feel like you just develop very thick skin.
Mhm. And why did you just get up and move to Nashville? Did you first of all, did you go by yourself? I mean, mom and dad, they stayed back in Cali and you said, "I'm heading to Nashville?"
Yeah, I actually came
Wow.
completely by myself. So funny enough, I had a lot of colleagues and friends from school that were actually starting to make the move to Nashville, because I would say about 8 years ago is when Nashville was really starting to become, it was right before it became the it city.
Mm,
But people were starting to kind of move over here. The show Nashville made it obviously so much more popular. So I wasn't fully by myself, which was kind of nice, but I had just gone through a crazy
yeah.
breakup.
Oh boy.
Um, if you want to hear more about that, go listen to the Bed You Made album, because it's all of that
Oh, I
that we were
love it.
dealing with. But I'm kidding, but yeah, and I came all by myself, and that was a journey in itself. I
You
had a
know, you
really wild move.
Andrea, you talk about the breakup though, that's country music. It's real life, and you're not the only one that has gone through something like that because and when we hear the music, for example, your music, you'll go, "That's about me. I
Yeah.
went through that. Holy crap. How does she know?" Because you're
Hmm.
human and you write about real life and you sing about
Exactly.
real life. That's
Exactly.
exactly what it is. Exactly. Man, I'll tell you, I'm just reading a lot of the stuff that was sent to me. Nicole sent it to me. Like, for example, the class of 2025 country artists to watch, Color Me Country, Apple Music Radio. How cool is that? And Live One Music platform to be on that. I mean, that is so very, very cool. Plus,
Thank you.
you've had airplay all around the world. I mean, London, Switzerland, Ireland, Europe, Australia, the UK. That is wow.
Yeah,
Is that
it's been a
crazy?
journey, and just everything kind of leading up to this year has been awesome to kind of watch play out.
Yeah. Have you had the chance to play over there, or has your music just been played on the radio?
I have not had the time to, or not time, had the chance to. I've gone out there
Yeah. Yep,
for
yep.
vacation and have had a fabulous time, but I have not been able to play there yet. But I'm not gonna say too much, but that's in the cards.
Mhm. Tell me a little bit about The Bed You Made. That's the whole album. That's the album, correct?
That was the
So
album that I put out at the end of 2023.
okay.
So that Bed You Made album is a real life story experience. So when we were putting together the album and picking the songs for that, I wanted it to tell. And I, if you go and look up the album on Spotify or Apple or iTunes,
Mm,
however you stream
okay.
music, the exact order, I wanted it to tell the story. And then she's mad, she's sad, she's getting better, so it kind of just takes you through those emotions of the breakup. So all the different stages. And that was a really, really great project and really fun to kind of put together. I'm an independent artist, so that was fully
Mhm, mhm,
self-funded. And
mhm.
Jessica Amerson, she is who's directed pretty much, I would say, a majority of all of my music videos. And
Very cool.
her and I DIY'd so many of them. And, I had my friends be extras and help me do this and help me do that. So the whole thing, it was just so much fun to put together throughout the
See,
years.
when you do the, DIY, it's that to me, that's awesome because
Yeah.
you're it's not a how can I say this? And it's not professionally done, but it's professionally done. It's
Thank
done
you.
by you, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like a different feeling, and when you watch it, it just kinda captivates you to keep watching
Thank
and
you.
keep listening.
Yeah, specifically the Made Me Cry visualizer, that one was really, really fun to do, because it was a really, really cold day that we were
Mhm.
trying to, when you release these videos and you're uploading your music, it has to all be on a certain timeline. And I think it was actually snowing, and we're like, we're gonna have to cancel the shoot, and unless we find a venue to do the shoot at. And I was like, I think we can make this work. I have like one wall where it might work in my dining room. We're just gonna have to move everything, and we made it happen. And my roommate at the time, I was like, I'm gonna use it downstairs. It's gonna look a little crazy, but just trust me, it'll be put away by the end of the day. And she was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" So we took just a teeny tiny corner of
Mhm.
my little townhouse where We put like all the pink streamers. We had disco balls, and it's just in this little tiny area. So if you
Oh
know,
wow.
looking
Yeah.
back on the video, you would think that that was maybe an entire room. It was just a teeny tiny corner of a wall, and I don't really move outside that frame because there was nothing else there. So it's kind of fun, like to
Yeah, but it
watch
makes
things
it
like
look
that. And
like you say, it looks a lot bigger than what it really is, and that's all part of the game with the
yeah,
videos too. You gotta love that. And, I'm also reading a little bit more here that you've been awarded the top 3 best Nashville singer-songwriter, 2022, a few years ago, best
yeah,
country music artist runner-up for 2 years in a row, the Best of Nashville awards. Girl, I mean, this thing goes on and on. I mean, like Nicole, it's like, holy crap. And
thank
in a
you.
good way, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. And, whereabouts in Nashville, just I don't wanna know your address, but what part of town do you live in?
I'm on the more north side of town, so just above East Nashville.
Oh, I got you. It's just a short drive into town. Makes it easy
10, 15 minutes
on a good
at the
day,
most.
on a
Yeah,
good day, because traffic now, from what I understand, even over what you've been there 8 years, it's gotten crazy. You know,
it
I
does.
I I've been attending this seminar for well over 20 years, and I can remember.
CRS.
Yeah, yep, yep, CRS, take it for whatever you want, but it's called the Country Radio Seminar, not can't
Hmm.
remember, but, the first time I went, it was easy. You land at the airport, you get on the highway, 20 minutes later, you're downtown. You're at the Omni, or you're at the Renaissance back then, and then, nowadays, it'll take you an hour and 20 minutes depending on what time you land. It does, it takes quite a while. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's
You're
a long
not though.
time. It does take you a while. I'm waiting to see how it plays out. I don't know when anybody's going to be watching this. I mean, you could be watching it live right now. If you are, I'm leaving tomorrow to come out. I'll have to time it from the airport. Now, wait a minute. So they say my flight gets in around 5 o'clock. That's going to be right at the afternoon peak.
AM or PM?
Yeah, PM. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
just saying, I didn't think of that when I booked the flight, but it's all good. It's all good. I'll be in
yeah,
an Uber. I don't have to drive. It's all good. But
yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about you. You've already released several singles. You got a full length album. What about your upcoming music?
So my upcoming stuff I'm very excited about. So we are putting together an album.
Mhm.
But we're first gonna release about half of it as an EP, which I'm very excited about. So it's gonna be called El Camino. I'm just gonna spoil it and tell you what it's called.
I love it.
And look forward to that top of summer.
Yeah, and tell me about the single that we just dropped, "Waste of Gas."
So Waste of Gas, I co-wrote with Bailey Morgan and Aton Snyder.
Okay.
I actually co-wrote Solo and Moving Target with them. So they're really great friends of mine. Um, and it was also produced by Jason Bobo, who produces all my stuff. Waste of Gas was just something really fun and edgy that we wanted to write. It's about not going back to somebody. And
Mhm, mhm,
by the end of the song, she realizes it's a waste of time. So that's why she's like, I'm out. It's a waste of gas. And that one was really fun to put together. We shot a whole music video, which is coming to CMT very, very soon.
Wow, and you've already been on CMT though, so that's no
Yeah.
stranger. You've been doing that right along. I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit of it here. Let's see what we have. Let's see. This is I hear a little steel in there.
Yeah.
Let's go. Just give it a little taste of it for those of you that are watching and listening. Here we go. Waste of gas.
I don't know why I have my keys. Who are you calling me this late? Sounds like you want something from me, and I've got so much to give away. You wanna love me on the low? Well, this is how it always goes. I get in the car, I drive to your place. You open the door, put your hands round my waist. You know how it starts and I know how it ends. I turn right around till we do this again. So, going to your place and that is a waste of gas.
He's a waste of gas. You go, girl. Wow.
Thank you.
I know, just to play on words, it's so good. And that's what makes you a good songwriter, I guess, or any songwriter when they can do that play on words and just kind of make it all come together. And
Yeah, that's the
uh,
goal.
Moving Target is a great song, but I love Bed You Made. Kelsey, thanks for the comment. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, people, our viewers can comment on the side, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. So, oh, there she is again. So, oh yeah, can you read that? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hi.
yeah, and there you go. How cool is that? You've got fans. You're making it happen. Obviously, you've come a long ways. You've got a great team behind you. Um,
Thanks.
do you get a chance to take some of your music like south of the border, considering you have those Latino roots, and play like, for example, in Mexico?
Not yet, but that
Mhm.
would be a dream. My cousins actually are in a, so I come from a very musical background
I was going to ask
of
you. Okay.
family.
Hmm.
So my cousins have an alternative rock band called The City,
Okay.
CITIE, and they're actually really killing it right now in Mexico City and kind of all around South America too. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think I might have to join them one
I think
day.
that would be cool. Or they come up and join you.
Exactly.
Either
I
way,
know.
you make that happen. But tell me about your family a little bit. So there's a lot of musicians in your family.
Yeah. Like I said, I guess that's it's very LA.
Hmm.
So my cousins, I mean, we all grew up as like best friends. So one of my cousins is a Latin singer. The other ones, everybody kind of does something within like whether it's professional lighting or audio engineering, mixing, mastering, public relations. Some of us are in a band. Some
Hmm.
of us sing country music. So we all do a little bit of everything. My cousin's dad, before he passed, he was a big psychologist for
Oh wow.
artists, celebrities, and we have. I mean, it's just very Hollywood when you say it. I'm like, it sounds like a fake life, but
No,
yeah, and
it's because of the West Coast lifestyle. I mean, I hear that from a lot of artists. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's. I mean, it was really cool because my cousins have a really beautiful recording studio,
Mhm.
so I got that kind of experience of recording from them, or just little things that we all teach each other, and everyone kind of helps each other out however they can.
Mhm.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Where do you record in Nashville?
I record at my producer's house, Jason Bobo, and then we
Okay.
recently recorded this next batch of stuff at Blackbird Studios, which is
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Excellent. Have you been at the Bluebird? I would assume you have,
I've
correct?
been to the Bluebird, but I'm hoping to play that this year.
Okay. That's very cool. That's very cool. If, let's say you could hop into a time machine and perform with any artist, living or dead, for one night, who would it be? And Andrea, why? I'm throwing
Oh,
questions at you.
living or dead? I don't know. There's honestly, it's funny too because my musical taste comes from all sorts of genres, but
Sure.
a very very big inspiration of mine, I would say, it's Taylor Swift and Miranda Lambert,
Mhm.
definitely, or Shania Twain. Can I say all three of them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got two pretty much from the same era, but Shania goes back a little bit.
Hmm.
But, and well, are you a Swiftie? Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Oh yeah, and I think that I've actually been having this conversation with a lot of my peers because of our agent. I mean, I got to watch Taylor
Mhm.
become a normal high school student to be the superstar billionaire that she is.
Oh,
And so her songs were some of the first songs that I learned to really play on the guitar because the chords were so simple. And
mhm,
I think her songwriting was so simple, but so smart. And she's just obviously so wise beyond her years, even as a teenager.
mhm.
So that was a big inspiration for me. And I wasn't a hardcore Swiftie until I went into the Eras tour with one
I
of
was
my
gonna
best
ask if
friends.
you went. Okay.
Oh my, I mean, and I did not get really, I got a obstructive view and it was the best money I've ever spent in my entire life. And then I went back and watched it on the Disney special and I was like, she's the real deal. I mean, it
Yeah.
was you just had to be there, and you're like, this is why she is who she is.
She is definitely the real deal, and she gets a bad rap a lot of the time with some of the comments that other people make. It's like, dude, you need to understand what
It's
she's
just
doing.
people who are being mean just to be
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, well, haters are gonna hate. Isn't that what we say?
Exactly.
Haters are gonna
Exactly.
hate, so they can hate. Who cares? I don't care
Exactly.
what they say or think. I know she's excellent. I gave her one of her first radio interviews way back. I think she
Really?
was 17. She had just put out Tim McGraw, and her mom, her label rep, they all showed up at the radio station I was working at, and it was one of her first radio interviews. And I still have the thank you card here from her. So that's just so cool. That's so cool. Then I actually, years later, I did go to one of the shows. It wasn't the Eras tour, but it was just I get blown away at concerts like that, and not necessarily from the artist. It's the production and everything that surrounds that artist on stage. And I'm looking, going, how did they do that? How is
Yeah.
that working? What do you mean she came from over there, but now she's over here? How
Uh-huh.
did they do that? Or she
Yeah.
flies above you. It's like it's crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it.
No, tell me a little bit about your shows. You see yourself doing that down the road?
I would love to. It would be a dream. Absolutely, it would be a dream.
Yeah.
I'm very big. I mean, here in Nashville, I get to do a lot of really great stripped down writers round style
Sure.
type of shows,
Mhm,
which is
mhm.
amazing. But there's something about when you're just with a full band, it just brings the energy up, and I love it.
That is cool. Tell me about you spent a little time at the CMA Music Festival.
Hmm.
How is that to perform there? Because you have all the different stages and you got people, I mean, thousands upon thousands of fans, country music fans, walking around looking to get an autograph, going to the different stages. How is that for you to be on that stage?
CMAs is always really fun. It's also always going to be around my birthday. It's always like my birthday weekend, so it just is double the
Party.
fun. Yeah, my birthday is June 11th, and it always falls on like the 8th through the not through the. It's always on some. It always kind of that's always like the celebration weekend, so that always makes it more fun. I love the summer. It does get very hot though. There was a show that
Yeah,
I
I've
played
heard that.
this. Oh yeah, this past summer. Oh my gosh, my band and I were like not doing well. Had a great time, but afterwards we're like, this is insane. This is because I mean the stage gets so hot and it's reflective. So if it's like 90 degrees out, just imagine 90 degrees and you're just standing there.
All right. Kelsey is also asking a question. Does she have a favorite song by Taylor, Miranda, and Shania? I think
Okay.
it's all good, right?
By Shania, we're gonna have to say, oh, this is just so hard. I'm gonna have to say
They're all good.
maybe Any Men of Mine,
Okay.
Miranda Lambert. Oh god. I think Tin Man is such a brilliant song.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
I rediscovered it the other day and I was like, this is insane. I love all her early stuff too,
Yeah.
but that
Exactly.
just stout to me. Taylor Swift. Wow.
It's all good.
I'm gonna have to say if I'm gonna say All Too Well. Can't go wrong with that song. It's
There you
brilliant.
go. There you go. Well, there you go, Kelsey. Hopefully you got your answer. That's cool. I got to think. I got some crazy questions. We all have our guilty pleasures, is the note I made. What's your go to country music guilty pleasure, whether it's a song, artist, or even a dance move?
I love anything that's early 90s, like the Chicks. Anything off those early records.
I love that. I was wondering that, like, all right, you got the chicks, but what about like early Alan Jackson, like
Chattahoochee.
Chattahoochee?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to dance to. It's fun to sing
Hmm.
along to. So I would assume if you like that, what about Zach Top?
I think he's great.
I do too. I do too. And his drummer went to my high school,
Really?
but I'm
No
a little
way.
bit older, whole lot older, but still. Yeah, that was pretty cool when I found
Very
that
cool.
out. Yeah. And I found out who it was. I'm like, are you kidding me? So
That's so fun.
yeah, they played a show here locally during the summer um, at our big amphitheater. And when they introduced the drummer, and I went, wait a minute, I recognize the last name. And they said, yeah, he went to in the school, you would know, but it's called West Genesee High School. And I went, are you kidding me? So,
That's
so when we
awesome.
talked to him afterwards, yeah, tell me about your band a little bit.
So my bandmates, they're awesome. So a lot of them play my in studio stuff. I've got Jason, who's my producer, is usually my lead guitar. Um, my other guitarist, Dan Davis, he's awesome. He plays most of my stuff too. My bassist, Jem, is like the chillest guy you'll ever meet. And then drummers, I kind of switch off just because they all have such different touring schedules. But
Mhm.
I got my boy Elliot. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites to write with, Elliot Russo. So he's
Love it.
actually on tour right now with Ben Chapman. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
he's a little busy right now. But I've also
Little bit
got
excited.
Evan. Yeah, Evan Mayo is another drummer that I use consistently. And Evan actually dates my best friend Bailey, who writes all my stuff with me. So we're
Man,
all
it's a
genuinely
circle.
good
Everything's
friends.
gone
Yeah.
full circle, which is cool. How'd you meet a lot of these guys? After you got to Nashville, did you know them before or just, go in the studio and next thing you know, you make friends with somebody and
A lot of that I have to give credit to Jason. Jason and I met because I was, man, it was before the pandemic.
Mhm.
And I was like, there's a Facebook group called Yep. It's like Yep Nashville if you need to find a graphic
Oh, yeah,
designer.
yeah. No, I'm a subscriber to that.
Okay, so the Yep page, I think that I was like panicked looking for a last minute guitar player for something. And somehow we got connected through a friend of a
Mhm,
friend or
mhm.
something. And then we were all in like, in COVID when everybody hung out in their little pods. He was in like my pod, like our friend group, and that's how we just started working together and became friends. And
That's
because he
cool.
uses so many different musicians in studio,
Mhm, mhm.
that's kind of how I've just found my players over time, and it's helpful that
That's
they've
cool.
a lot of them have played on my stuff, so it just makes it easy that they're already familiar with the music.
Yeah, and I think, maybe a lot of listeners, a lot of viewers wouldn't know this, but these people that play in the studio, more times than not, they've played with a major artist and they'll go out on tour with them, but when they're not on tour, they may be playing in the studio for an artist, let's say like yourself or somebody else that needs backup, and that's what they do during their off time.
Hmm.
Am I correct to say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. It's pretty cool, and you become friends with them too, so
Hmm. Yeah, they're
that's
fun
awesome.
guys.
Yeah. So, do you get down on Broadway at all?
Not too often, but I have a big appreciation for those guys. I mean, they're
Yeah,
playing for hours and
yeah.
they're
For a
killing
tip
it.
jar,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
yeah. I have a friend of mine that plays it, or I'll have to check it out when I show up there this week, but, over at Tootsie's, and, when he's not there, he's usually on the road with somebody, but,
Fun.
Jason Teska, which is, I don't know, hopefully he's still playing there because I'd love to see him and go and have a cold one, but, that's pretty cool, but, Broadway's gotten to be a little cray cray. It's crazy.
Just a little bit.
And and I tell this story all the time that my wife and we went to Nashville to go to the NASCAR race a couple of years ago. And we got back to our hotel. It was early enough in the evening. I said, come on, we'll take a walk over on Broadway. Let's go see what's going on. Listen to some music. Mistake. That's what, it was crazy. The road was shut off. And, there was bachelorette parties on every corner. There were fights on every corner. There were
Yeah.
this and that going on every corner. It's like, nah, yeah, it's too crowded. Let's go back to the bar at the hotel. So, we ended up doing that. But no, if you've never done it, you definitely got to do it. I mean, just go, it's part of Nashville and it's part of the scene. So,
Yeah, it's great people watching, but it's always nice to kind of get to
yeah.
the little neighborhoods outside of Broadway to kind of see other stuff too.
See, I tell this to everybody as well. I'd love to go to the station Inn. I don't know
You
what it is.
should. You should definitely do that.
I do that. That's what
Oh, okay.
if I want to get away and get out of town, I'll head out to the station Inn. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
it.
pretty
That's
cool.
not a bad spot.
Yeah, and you never know who you're gonna see or meet,
Hmm.
so on and so forth. That's Dirk Bentley back in the day used to play there quite often. So that's where my wife and I got to know him a little bit.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. So I'm just saying, you get to these honky tonks outside of town, that's you're away from it all. So
Hmm.
if you're gonna see anybody or whatever, you never know who you're gonna run into. So
Exactly.
So where do you hang?
I love to hang, and the Wedgwood, Houston's a really cool area because it's just a
Mhm.
little more chiller. Somewhere in East Nashville, it's just a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more
I get it.
laid back,
I
not
get it.
divey all the way, but just a little more chill.
Yeah. I like the dives though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
there's something about going to a dive and you can hear great music, get yourself a pitcher of beer and you're good to go. It's just so
yeah.
much fun. Yeah,
And I'm
so
also at the age where I don't want to be screaming. I like
I'm
my
long
voice because I'm like,
past
I
that.
can't hear you.
I know. There's too many people in here. What?
No, I can't do that anymore. I
I
can't
know.
do it anymore.
I hear I hear you. So where do you get over to the Tin Roof or any of those? Do you what about songwriter nights? Um
Songwriter nights, I love playing the listening room cafe.
listen,
That's
I
probably
I
my
was trying to
favorite.
think of that. That's what I meant to say. Listening
Hmm.
room is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been really lucky to be able to play there pretty consistently. So that's probably my favorite spot to also take out of towners.
Mhm. Tell me about a day in the life of Andrea Vasquez.
Day in the life. I actually been posting a lot of my little vlogs on TikTok and Instagram Reels. People like to see those, but I get up decently early. I feel like I think it's normal to get up around 6:30, 7 a.m. and
Yeah.
work out and then do some admin stuff. I do
Mhm.
have a day gig, so do that. I write like in the late afternoon, early evenings. If I have a recording session, that's also when that takes place as well. Usually going off to some sort of networking happy hour
Mhm.
and such. And
It's
every day
go,
is a
go,
little
go.
different.
Yeah. It's go, go, go. And I'm well, you said you got a day gig, but I was gonna say I'm a little bit surprised that you get up at 6:30 if you're an artist, because normally, unless you're on a radio tour, you're not up that early.
Uh-uh.
But you have a day gig too, so you've probably got to go and do that and then take
Exactly.
so
Yeah, but I also am just such a routine person. Like I like even on the Saturdays, I don't get up that early, but I get up by like 8 and I'm usually like, I gotta go to the store, I gotta do this, gotta do
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
So
Get it all done,
hmm
right? Then you can chill a little bit, then go play.
yes.
So do you do a lot of acoustic stuff?
Yeah. A lot of songwriter nights. Those are probably my favorite where it's
Right,
pretty much
right,
just original music.
right. So, have you had the opportunity to actually be on the big stage with some of these major artists?
I have. I've
Tell me.
played, man, so I don't remember what year it was, but I got to open up for Brad Paisley
Mhm,
at Country Jam in Colorado years
mhm,
ago.
mhm.
That was probably like one of the biggest ones I did, a big festival. But you know, it's Nashville. You never know who you're going to be bumping into here.
Exactly. And if you could play I mean, I think I already asked you a little bit if you could play with anybody dead or alive, but is there well, you mentioned, well, Shania, Miranda, Taylor. Never mind. Forget that question. I'm kind of all over the place here, but
Yeah.
what is one thing that fans would be surprised to know off stage or outside of your music about you?
Um, that's a good one. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could kind of tell from my social media, but I'm like
Yeah.
a big foodie. I would say I'm very chill. I love to laugh. So I
Oh,
think that if I wasn't doing it, I would be like I would run a Bravo account, like Bravo, Housewives, all of that. I feel like in another life I like run one of those social media pages or like could do a podcast on that because I just think that stuff's so funny. Um, and yeah, I just love to have a good time.
do you do a podcast?
I actually do have a podcast,
Tell me
Latina in
about it.
Nashville's. So I've been partnered with Country Latin Association, which
Okay.
is a passion project that Angie K and I are. Angie K is a phenomenal Latin country artist as well. She's killing it right now too. I just got to watch her at the Opry on Saturday, so that was awesome. But we're I don't want to reveal too much about the plans, but we're kind of highlighting just all these different diverse Latin country artists, specifically in Nashville, that you should just know about and just kind of getting to know their roots and their
That's
story
cool.
and just what makes them so special. And just hoping to really grow that and, being able to make a difference.
How long have you been doing this?
We've been doing that since this past fall.
Okay. So it's still
It's
pretty
new.
fresh,
Hmm.
new. That's a great idea. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. And where do you do the podcast from?
We actually do it from my living room. So we
Okay.
arranged some furniture around and
Yeah,
made a
yeah,
little studio.
yeah. That's very cool. And I think
Mhm.
everybody should do that. I realize there's a million of these out there, if not more. I mean, there's so many, but everybody's got their own little thing going. And that, what you just mentioned, what a great idea, just to put the spotlight on some of these artists, the Latino side, and and you with your heritage, how everything just comes together. That's such a great
Exactly.
idea. Great.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're excited to see where this goes.
I love that. I love that. So, what do you drive?
I drive a Jetta.
It's not a dually?
No.
No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. And that's why I ask everybody, because I usually get a kick out of it. Hey, they think, "Oh, you must drive a truck." No, I had a Kia, all right? I was driving a Kia. Now I'm back into a Chevy Colorado, but still, I
I
went
love
down.
my Jetta. It's very, very fuel efficient.
Yeah, well, there you go, especially nowadays, especially
Hmm.
nowadays. I I totally get it. What are you into sports at all?
I'm a very proud LA Chargers fan. It's not always fun, but it
Oh,
is what it is.
you poor thing.
Yeah.
Well, someday they'll come back. No need to worry. No need to worry. So where now, if you doing what you're doing, you moved to Nashville 8 years ago. You're doing very well all the way around. What advice would you give to somebody that wants to do what you're doing?
A biggest thing that I've just kind of trained myself is, I don't mean this in a negative way, but stop caring. Like, don't care about what this person's doing or what you don't have that this person doesn't have, et cetera, because you just never really know. They might be honestly wishing that they had what you have. So I feel like a lot of people, especially when you're younger, you get stuck in being like, I have to sound like this, or I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, you have to just stop caring and
Mhm.
what do you want to do and just really go with that. I think that's my biggest thing.
And I think I was going to mention this, but you kind of went in that direction that you have to be able to handle criticism.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's going to say, "You know what, you suck," or "You're great," or "I don't like you."
Hmm.
But you learn from those things. You learn if somebody says that, you don't get all uptight over it. Just go, "Okay, how can I do something a little bit different? Why does he think or she think I sucked?" You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10,
don't worry
I,
about
I mean, I think somebody told me this once. They're like, "What's the worst that can happen? They just unfollow you," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. How many followers do you have? Do you have any idea? You got a lot.
Like,
You got a lot. I know that. You got a lot.
decent. I don't know.
You got a lot. What's your favorite food? Seeing you're a foodie.
I love sushi.
Oh,
I
ugh.
really, really miss California sushi, but I really love a little bit of everything. If
Yeah,
I could
I'm not a
eat
sushi
something every day, it would be like wood fired pizza.
wood fired pizza. Can't go wrong with that.
Uh-uh.
No, you can't. What do you like on it?
I love prosciutto and tomato and basil, like
Yeah.
basic, but not.
Okay, now I'm hungry.
Hmm.
Do you get to go back home at all? Do you go home often if you do go?
I could go home way more often, but I need to do that more. But I love going home. San Diego has the best Mexican food and the best tacos.
In the
So,
best zoo.
oh yeah, it's what I look forward to when I go home.
Yeah, I love the zoo in San Diego.
Yeah.
It's like the best. It's the
Hmm.
best.
It is. It is the best.
I know it is. It's very cool. And, are you, like, right on the water? Well, you would be if you're in San Diego, you're on the water. So,
We're
yeah.
pretty close. We're
Yeah,
like 10, 15 minutes away.
yeah. Well, that's close.
Yeah.
It's close. Somebody
Closer than I
splashes
am
you, you're right.
now.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. But you know what? Look what you're doing. Look where you are. Look at the
Exactly.
life that you're living. And I know you don't regret that. This is
No.
just a great opportunity for you. I can see what you're doing. I'm just reading some of the stuff here on this one sheet that they sent that you've been featured in Rolling Stone, Music Row, of course. You've been on WSM, great radio station, by the way. Member of the CMA. Music Association, the Washington Post, Today in Nashville. I mean, look at they put all the logos on this thing. It's so
Yeah.
cool, so cool.
Thanks.
You've got a great team behind you. I can see that because I wouldn't
Yes,
be
they're
looking at
awesome.
this if you didn't. So now, if somebody wanted to get a hold of your music, where can they find you online? I know you're online, but how? Where?
So if you want to keep up with me, at Drea Vasquez is all my socials. So Instagram, TikTok, all the things. Spotify, Apple, all however you like to stream your music, it's just Andrea Vasquez.
I love it. I love it. Now, is it hard? You talk about being an admin and doing all this stuff. You must be really good with social media. Is this something you do on a regular basis? Is that
I
why?
try to, but
It's hard
it's
though,
always
right?
still changing, and yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the toughest thing when it comes to social media and you as an artist? What do you think is the most difficult?
Honestly, just scheduling out the posts, and you have to post it to shorts and TikTok and this and that and the hashtags and all of that. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but you do all that yourself.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, do it all
Crazy.
yourself till you don't have to, or
Yeah.
you
No,
can't. But
I'm doing this all by myself. So,
hmm.
we got a team at the radio station. It's still, it's like, well, that's Skip's thing. He can handle it. So,
Exactly.
Kelsey, it's been great. Kelsey, Andrea, I saw
Reading
she's
Kelsey's
commenting.
comment.
Hang on a minute. Let's see what she's saying. Hang on. I'm already following Andrea. She remembers I'm a fan of Molly Levette.
Yes.
Okay. I get it. Well, I know you're not Kelsey. You're Andrea. That I do know. And, thanks for coming on, spending a few minutes of your time. I know you're very, very busy doing what you do, working the full-time gig during the day, doing music at night, writing at night, probably staying up all night when you get a thought, trying to make it
Hmm.
work. Wake up at 3 a.m, go, oh my God, I got to make note of that. I want that in the song. How often does that happen?
Not very often, because when I'm
No.
out, I'm out.
Well,
But I do stay up pretty late.
do you? Why are you watching television? Is that why? Just kind, or are you just kind of writing, or do you like binge watch something on Netflix?
It just depends. I don't really sleep with the TV on, but
No.
usually finishing up something on the computer.
I got you. All right. Andrea Vasquez, you're awesome. Go out and get the
Thank
music.
you.
Get the music. Just do a search for her online. Google it, whatever they say. Google it, and it's all going to come up for you. It's pretty cool. It's a star. She's already a star, doing her own thing. So cool. Thanks for coming out with Skip Happens tonight. Appreciate you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much for having me.
yeah, and I'm going to see you. I hope to see you. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. Well, safe travels.
Yes, I'm leaving here tomorrow, and I'll be in Nashville by tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. So,
Yay.
all right, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.
Yes.
Stay right there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody.